Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. I'm Alpa Sharma, and we are in the midst of our series where we learn a lot of idioms through a lot of stories. I hope I am clearly visible and audible to everyone. Can you see me and hear me clearly? Good afternoon, everyone. Am I clearly visible and audible? Good afternoon, Muzammil. I hope you're doing really good. And I hope you've seen all the previous classes. Just a minute. Yes. Good afternoon, Prerna. Good afternoon, Bala. Good afternoon, Avi. I hope all of you are doing really good. I hope you've seen all the previous classes in the series, and I hope you know what we do in the series. So I narrate a lot of stories to you with the idioms connected to them, and through the stories we try to memorize the idioms, and that's, I believe, by far is the best way to retain the meaning of the idioms. Yes. So there's a little error here. This class is Idioms Made Easy Part 6. So I made an error with the editing here. So I'll just alter it a little. This is Part 6 and not Part 5. Okay. So I'm sorry for that. But before we start doing these, let's quickly have a look at the facts that if you're targeting IPMAT and DUJAT, we have a score booster course for you. Rush up and enroll yourself at the earliest, because we do not have a lot of time left for all the BB entrance examinations. And if you're targeting IPMAT, DUJAT, ACT, NPAT, these examinations, batch 3 has recently been launched. You could enroll yourself for these batches and make the most out of them. Neha ma'am, Ankur sir, Vinod sir, Salik sir, Rabia ma'am, all are going to be teaching in this batch. All are eminent faculties. So जल्दी से एनरोल कर लो, टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करना है. अब सबसे पहले हम ट्राई करते हैं. गुड आफ्टरनून सौम्या, प्रेरणा. यस. नाउ सबसे पहले वी विल ट्राई टू रिवाइज what we did in the last class. We will try to recall all the idioms of the previous class, and then we will start learning new idioms along with that. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, Pari. So the first idiom from the previous class was flying off the handle. Guess and tell me in the chat box what is the meaning of the idiom. We did this. If you remember, there was an axe and the cutter was flying off the handle. What did it mean, flying off the handle? I'm absolutely good, Rafat. Yes, very good. Thank you so much for asking. What does flying off the handle mean? Anyone? I gave you an example of somebody using the axe. So, oh yes, Pari, that is the answer. To do something with a lot of rage and anger and aggression. So if you're trying to cut somebody into pieces with an axe, you are hitting the person so hard that maybe the cutter would fly. Not a very good sight, but that's the example that we used. The cutter would fly off the handle, becoming enraged and getting out of control. Yes, Ashavri, you're correct. So the correct answer is suddenly become enraged. The second idiom, barking up the wrong tree. So you had a picture where a dog was barking on a tree at a cat, but the cat was inside some other tree, hiding inside some other tree. So what is the meaning of this idiom? Suddenly getting agitated? Yes, Jyotika, you're correct. That is the meaning of flying off the handle. What is the meaning of the second idiom? By the time we have more people answering the meaning of this idiom, why don't you share this video with everyone you know, your school friends, your college friends, your seniors, your juniors who could learn idioms with me? Why don't you do this for me? Thank you if you've done this already. Misguide? Yes. Correct. Pursuing a misguided act. Yes, or a misguided course of action is our answer. That is barking up the wrong tree. The next idiom, armed to teeth. What did it mean? Do you remember the caricature I had shown you where a person is holding so many arms and ammunitions? So, what would that mean? Armed to the teeth. What is the meaning of this idiom? Following, okay, misguide. That was for the previous one. Well equipped, yes. So many arms and ammunitions that even your teeth would be holding some of them. You have so many of them. You are well equipped. You are equipped to the brim, to the core is exactly very well maintained, well equipped is the meaning of armed to the teeth. The next idiom, get one's goat. If you remember the story of the stable where there are horses and there are goats, I will not tell you the whole story. If you remember it, you would know the meaning of getting one's goat. What is the meaning of this idiom? Let's see who knows it. Yes, so armed to the teeth is well equipped, well capable, well maintained. Yes. To irritate, okay, Rafat. Others? To irritate, yes, yes, yes. So if somebody from the opponent horse would take away the goat, they would take it away because the horses would be irritated. Because when there are goats around them, they would be calm. So yes, to irritate is to get one's goat or to annoy somebody. The last one as a revision, dish fit for gods. This is easy and we did so many idioms with it. From Shakespeare's books, this is one of it. And then there were so many other idioms. The green-eyed monster, for example, we had done from Shakespeare's books. So, what is the meaning of this idiom? A dish fit for the gods. Anyone? Good afternoon, Yashashvi. Good to see you. A very delicious meal with good cuts. Yes, Pari. You are absolutely correct, my child. Scrumptious meal, very tasty, very delicious. इतना अच्छा है कि वो हम gods को serve कर सकते हैं. It's so good. So, the meaning is a very scrumptious and delectable meal. So, these were the idioms we did in the last class. These were the revision. And now let's start off with our new idioms from today's session. But before I do that, I had asked a lot of you to come up with suggestions on the topics you would want me to take more classes on. So Monday onwards, I plan to start a new series. The series on idioms would end on Friday. And I had given you an offer and I had said it's a lucrative offer that you wouldn't be able to refuse. So the offer is, it's a give and take, okay? You make suggestions to me, not in the chat box right now, but under my video in the comment section, you make suggestions to me. And the one suggestion that I pick up, that person, that student gets a chance of having a video counseling session with me where one-to-one I will be addressing all your educational problems that you have, your strategy that you should be making to achieve your target, to getting into your dream college. I will be assisting you with that. So if I pick up your suggestion, you get a chance for that session. Make sure all of you reply to me in the comment section, not in the chat box right now, but in the comment sections with all your suggestions. And from Monday onwards, I'll be starting off with a new series. The other thing is, the person who shares these videos maximum, because we can keep a track of that, also would get another reward of this such. So make sure you keep sharing these videos, because the more views I get, the more beneficial it's going to be for me. You know that already. Now let's move to the first idiom of today's class, feeling under the weather. Now guess, can you guess what it means without Googling? If you cannot guess it, I will tell you the story behind this, okay? Rafat, under my yesterday's video, did you do this under my yesterday's video? If it is there under my yesterday's video, I will see it today. If it is somewhere else, I wouldn't be able to see it. So the recommendations and the suggestions need to come under today or yesterday's idioms video only, okay? Tone of the passage, yes. Sarvanti, I'm going to take one. It's a very good suggestion. Please write it down. under my video in the comment section so that I don't forget it, your name and everything else, okay? All right. Okay, let me tell you the story. Life is not late, Trasik. It started on time at 12:30 precisely. You are late, my child. Okay, very good. Unhappy, sad, good guesses. Feeling on the base of situation. Now I'll tell you the story. Okay, the story is it's a nautical story. Nautical क्या होता है? Nautical होता है जो कि navigation or ships or boats or sea or voyage से related होता है. So the story is a nautical one. And when somebody who is a sailor, he sails into a sea. When you go on a boat ride, it's not a very disturbing sea that you find. But when you get going inside deeper and deeper, the sea gets rough. When you ask all the navy people, it's a very difficult life for them while they're at the sea inside their ships, because the sea is very rough, and with the roughness, people get seasick. Like people get air sick and motion sick, people get seasick. They feel really, really uneasy. And usually to deal with that uneasiness, they would move to the front part of the boat. Now the front part of the boat would be open, okay? And you would be under the weather, because you can clearly, if it's raining, you'll be under it. If it's sunny, you'll be under it. That also wouldn't be a very pleasant sight, because eventually you are sick, you're feeling sick and indisposed and not feeling well, and then you are under the weather, you're moving at the front of the boat. So ultimately, feeling under the weather would mean to feel sick, to feel ill, or to feel indisposed. Indisposed also means to feel sick. That is to feel under the weather. So when I say I have cold, I'm a bit under the weather. That means I feel under the weather, I'm unwell, I am sick. That is the literal meaning of this idiom. Okay? It's okay, Bala, these are new idioms. You'll be able to understand these. I hope you've understood the story. Have you? If you've understood the story, just link it to the idiom I'm teaching you. It's very easy, and to memorize them is a cakewalk. A cakewalk is also an idiom. I'll teach you that also later on. Okay? So not feeling good is feeling under the weather. Okay? Not feeling healthy is feeling under the weather. Okay? So, but good guesses everyone. Let's move to the next one. Here it is. So the next idiom, see this guy, the poor guy is feeling under the weather. Such a brilliant candy catcher. He is hospitalized, and then there is a cloud on his head. He's feeling under the weather. You can memorize it with the picture I've shown you as well. Let's move to the next one. Beat around the bush. इसको beat about the bush भी बोलते हैं, but mostly it is beat around the bush only. Okay? Can you guess the meaning of the idiom before I tell you the story? Yes, Rafat. Easy. Something that's easy is a cakewalk. Although walking on a cake wouldn't be easy, but the meaning of the idiom is certainly not the literal one. So, ये भी the Hindu का है क्या? No, Ayushi, no. Certainly not. Is my name synonymous to the Hindu? Alpa Sharma is equal to the Hindu analysis? Is that how you look at me? Not coming to the point. Good guess, Pari. Ayushi, yes, this will benefit you with that as well. To try luck, very good. Very good, Sanika. Okay, let me tell you the story behind this. Okay, and a brilliant picture as well. See, these students, these kids, there is this bush. But they're not beating on the bush, they're beating around the bush. So the story comes from the game of hunting in Britain. People would go out hunting, and the thing that they would hunt and bring back, they would cook and eat it. Do you realize हम कितना meat eating idioms कर रहे हैं? Because these are English idioms, and English men, English people are meat eating people. They're non-vegetarians predominantly, and that's why so many idioms come from non-vegetarian and meat and all this. But हम हिंदी idioms जब देखते हैं, they aren't really based on meat eating ones. है ना? Surprisingly, yes, that's the difference in the culture. Okay, so hunting games होते थे. People would go out, they would hunt, bring something back in return, and while hunting, they would hunt birds and other tiny animals, which would be hidden inside the bush. But instead of hitting directly on the bush, they would hit around it. So not hitting on the bush, not hitting on the point, circumverting around it, not hitting on the point exactly, not coming to the point exactly is the exact meaning of the idiom. To circle the point, to circumvert the point, घूमते रहना उसके आसपास, not coming to the direct point, avoiding it. We can see a lot of politicians who beat around the bush. The center on the Pegasus issue will beat around the bush, not talk about it directly, not address the problem at the point. That is to beat around the bush. They might have secretly been oh maybe, could be Trasik, yes. So do you understand this? Do you understand this idiom? Everyone? Idhar udhar ghumte rehna, yes. To speak unpleasantly, Soumya, very good guess, but it is not unpleasantly, it's indirectly. Okay, not coming to the point. Yes, Tanu. Now let's move to the next idiom of the class. Here it is. Okay, read the Riot Act. This is a very uncommon one. Without the use of Google, because my job is to teach you. So, I want you to make guesses about what would this mean. Read the Riot Act. Think about it. You can infer the meaning easily. Read the Riot Act. ये भी एक British era का idiom है. Hiding something. Yes, Sarvanti, it could be hiding something as well. Beat around the bush. The elephant in the room is related. Yes, Prerna, absolutely correct. So proud of what you have said. Yes. To incite again. Good guess, Trasik. Anyone else? What would it mean? Okay. So many guesses. See, I told you it's an uncommon one. Understand something bad to happen, like writing is on the wall? Okay, let me show you the story behind this. Okay, so the idiom comes from actually an act, like multiple acts are there in our country, है ना? बहुत सारे acts होते हैं जिसके अंदर आप legally bind होते हैं हमारे country की judiciary में. वैसा ही एक act था. It was called the Riot Act, which was passed by the British government in the 17th and 18th century. Okay, and the king at that time was not really happy with people assembling together. So when people would assemble, he would think, oh, these people are having a conspiracy against me. They want to overthrow me. So I want to pass this Riot Act. And if there are people who are assembling anywhere, these people, for example, if they're assembling anywhere, any representative of the British government would read this Riot Act and tell them, you are assembling illegally, so either you come into the prison with me or maybe you are going to be killed because of it. Now the inference from the idiom is to criticize somebody. Okay, reprimand is to criticize or maybe say something bad to somebody because they are not behaving in the manner you expect them to. Okay, and then your intention is to improve their behavior. So when Britishers would read the Riot Act, they thought the commoners' behavior is not acceptable. They need criticism. So these Britishers, these army personnel would arrest them, maybe kill them, and read the Riot Act to them. See, this is what you're doing wrong. You need improvement, and because your behavior needs improvement, we're going to arrest you. They were reading the Riot Act. So the meaning is to reprimand somebody for behaving badly, and the intention is to improving that person's behavior. Is the story interesting? Did you like the story? Okay. क्या बातें हो रही है? One more time. Story. Sarvanti, do you want to know the story again? कोई बात नहीं ट्रासिक, तुक्का से ही सीखते हैं सब लोग, है ना? तो गैस करना जरूरी है, उसी से आपको याद रहेगा कि मैंने गलत गैस किया था, बट दैट इज द एक्चुअल मीनिंग. मुजाम्मिल, ओके, आई थॉट दैट्स यू रीमिंग दैट टू मी. ओके, did you get this everyone? Do you want me to repeat the story? Anybody? I'll quickly tell you a brief again. So basically the Riot Act was passed by the British government, and the king at that time during the 18th century believed that anytime people are gathering, they would gather to overthrow his kingdom, and he wasn't happy with that. So he passed an act, the Riot Act, and the act meant people cannot gather. When they're gathering, the representative of the British authority can arrest them. So before arresting, when people were gathering, the authority would go read that act, which was called the Riot Act, and say, okay, you're doing it wrong, your behavior isn't appropriate, I'm going to arrest you and punish you for that. And this is the act, this is what the act says. So the meaning is, when you do something as a criticism to somebody because you think their behavior is wrong, is to read the Riot Act. When I say, have you been reading the newspapers daily? Have you been solving reading comprehensions daily? You say, no ma'am, I have not been doing it. I will read the Riot Act. I will be criticizing you because I think your behavior isn't correct. You need to be doing it every day. That is reading the Riot Act. Okay, I hope everybody gets it. Now let's move to the next idiom of the class. Okay? आया सबको समझ में? The next one. By the skin of your teeth. So many idioms with our body parts. Hand, we did one. Sleeve, we did one. Teeth, we did one as well. Red-handed, wearing your heart on your sleeve. Arm to teeth. Skin of your teeth. We'll be doing lots more gradually. So by the skin of your teeth, any guesses? What does it mean? Yes, Roulette Act is an example. Correct, Falguni. Very good. Oh yes, you can do that, Trasik. Absolutely, there are lots of books on it. Cold shoulder was one more. Yes, you're right, Rafat. Any guesses, anybody? By the skin of your teeth. Good, very good, Trasik, very good. Pari, that is also a very good guess because there is no skin on teeth. है ना? चलो अब स्टोरी बताती हूँ मैं आपको, इसके पीछे स्टोरी क्या है. So here it is. Okay, now the story, first let's read this brilliant fact. The story comes from one of the most highly sold books in the world, which of world records. Which book is that? It's the Bible. Did you know this fact? So it's the Bible, and now the story behind the skin of your teeth comes out of the Bible. Now the story is about Job, who is a person, and he has a very sad life. Okay, he's very unhappy, he has a very unfortunate life, a lot of suffering in his life, and then he still prays to God a lot. And what does he say? He says, I am nothing but skin and bones. मेरा body कुछ भी नहीं है. It's only a matter. It is skin and bones. I have escaped only by the skin of my teeth. I was so close to death that I have escaped only by the skin of my teeth. Does your tooth have skin? No, nothing. It's nothing. So you've escaped by almost negligible mark. So Job escaped death by such a small margin that it can be linked to the thinness of the skin on his teeth. That is the story. So the gist of it is to escape an undesired outcome narrowly. You were just saved. Okay, you were doing something undesirable and you were just saved because your parents did not catch you for that. So with a narrow margin you were saved. India Pakistan का मैच हो रहा है, एक बॉल है, 6 रन चाहिए, तो छक्का हो गया. बिल्कुल narrow escape is by the skin of the teeth. Story interesting? Yes. Very, very minute. Correct. Very good. So did you get the story, everyone? Did you get it? If you got it, please like this session right away so I know you're understanding it, and please share it before I move to the next idiom. Share it with everybody you know. Again, okay. So the story comes out of Bible where there is a person, Job, okay, and he strongly believes in God, and he says a statement where he says, oh, I'm nothing. My body is just bones and flesh and blood, and my body is nothing else. And I was about to die in my life had God not been here. How was I saved? I was saved by the skin of my teeth. That means I was saved, just saved, because I had nothing, and only praying to you was what I was left with. So my God saved me by the skin of my teeth. अब देखो teeth में कोई skin होता नहीं है, right? फिर इसका मतलब almost negligible mark से he was saved from dying. तो कोई भी unpleasant result में अगर आप बिल्कुल at the border बचते हो, you were about to be falling into the trap, or you were about to get into a bad thing, but you were just saved by the mark, is by the skin of your teeth. Yes. Okay. Now the next one, next idiom is here, by and large. What does it mean? Oh yes, Vaibhav. If your rank was 52, that was skin of your teeth. If your rank was 51, you would be inside it. Hai na? Okay. So, skin of the teeth. Sorry, by and large. What does it mean? Anyone? Sanika, that should be enough. But if you want to do only BBA, you need to sit for all the BBA entrance examinations. But if you want to do LLB, you need to sit for CLAT. Mainly, mostly, good, very good. अच्छा, इसकी पीछे स्टोरी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. स्टोरी बताती हूँ मैं आपको. देखो, तो स्टोरी ऐसा है. ये स्टोरी भी शिप्स और नॉटिकल स्टोरी है, और रिलेटेड टू शिप एंड नेविगेशन एंड सी एंड वॉयजेस, इनसे रिलेटेड है. ठीक है. तो दो वर्ड्स है, बाय और लार्ज. इनके अलग अलग मीनिंग्स है अकॉर्डिंग टू द नॉटिकल स्टोरीज. बाय का मतलब होता है जब जिसको फुल बाय भी बोलते हैं. यस, इसका मतलब बोट जिस डायरेक्शन में विंड है उसके ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में सेल कर रही है. एंड व्हेन इट इज लार्ज, जिस डायरेक्शन में विंड है उसी डायरेक्शन में बोट सेल कर रही है. I'll repeat this in English. By means the direction in which the wind is blowing, the boat sails in the opposite direction. And large means the boat is sailing in the same direction as the wind. Thus, this idiom by and large means the wind is, it's a combination, right? By, opposite direction. Large, same direction. So by and large is coming from all the directions. That is by and large. So what is the meaning that we can derive out of the story? That means overall, in a comprehensive manner, in a general manner, considering everything, by and large. So if you need to clear all the BB entrance examinations, all of them, by and large, your reading habit needs to be good. Your reading comprehension needs to be good. That is by and large. Do you get this, everyone? So most of you got it correct. Yes. No, Trasik, you're wrong. नहीं पढ़ाते हैं. Yes, Rafat, upstream or downstream question of math के साथ आप कर सकते हो इसको. Correct. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So I hope everyone gets it. Now I'll quickly repeat the suggestions that I want from you. I want all of you to make suggestions about the new series that I would be starting from Monday. What topics do you want me to cover? The one person जिसका series का topic मैं choose करती हूँ, that person gets a one-to-one session with me, a video session where I will be helping you out with your preparation strategy. How do you make suggestions? You reply to me in the comment section under my video. Not in the chat box right now, but in the comment section under my video. I'll be checking all the suggestions. I'll be picking one of them, and the person who I pick would get a video counseling session with me, one-to-one, personalized one. Okay? So I don't give it to everyone. So you would be a lucky one who gets it out of my busy schedule. So I'm going to see you tomorrow again. Zoom पे कर लेंगे, whatever suits you. Yes. Now I am no, I'm left with one more, to have cold feet. Sorry. Any guesses? To have cold feet, what does it mean? Same time. Yes, every day on this platform I come at the same time, 12:30 is going to remain the same. Okay. Yes, इस वीडियो के कमेंट सेक्शन में बताना है वैभव. Yes. To have cold feet, anyone? This is a very common one. Just before the examination, what happens? You have cold feet. ये आर्मी की स्टोरी है इससे लिंक्ड. ओके, तनु इन द कमेंट सेक्शन बच्चे, नॉट इन द चैट बॉक्स. मेरे वीडियो के नीचे कमेंट्स आते हैं ना, ये भी लिख दो कि आपको वीडियो अच्छा लगता है, ये भी अच्छा लगेगा मुझे पढ़ के, और ये भी लिख दो आपको किस पे सेशन चाहिए. ओके, सो इसके पीछे एक आर्मी का स्टोरी है. सो द स्टोरी इज व्हेन आर्मी, इंडियन आर्मी देखो, इट इज एट द बॉर्डर्स. सो द line of actual control, the line between India and China, there's a lot of disturbance going on there, and the army stays there with their feet that is cold. And when the army goes ahead to have a war, their feet is still cold because of the snow that's around. So it is basically to be very nervous, lacking confidence, because maybe the upcoming thing is a do or die thing, that is to have cold feet. And the origination is from the army personnel who would be at the border and whose feet would be really cold because it's snowy around, and then when they would get up to go for a war, their feet would still be cold. That is to be nervous and lacking confidence. So immediately before the examination you would have cold feet. Yes. During PTM, oh okay, anxious, yes, anxiety, nervousness, all of this is what having cold feet means. Now that is all for today's session. I hope thank you my child, Tanu, thank you my child. Now I'm going to wind up the class today. Make sure you reply to me in the comment section. I'll be reading all the comments, choosing one for Monday's session. Till then, have a very good day, and God bless you. Bye guys.